All right, peace and much love. Zin Uru here. Welcome to the latest message from the Minista. This week's message from the Minista is patience pays. Patience pays. And I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's funny, thank you all for coming in. I'm actually seeing more and more people coming in. Why are more and more people coming into a room that it just seems that only Zin is in right now? That's because there is no such thing as time and space. They are just illusions. And there is such thing as time and space. They are powerful illusions indeed. But as eternal spirit beings, time and space is just a place, a third dimensional place that we come together. And in the spirit, though, there is no such thing as time and space. So no matter how far forward in the future anyone is watching this, and no matter how far away from this physical location that I am, they may be, we are all here together, right here, in this time, in this space. And I want to welcome y'all here. And why? Because patience pays. Patience pays. It was funny. Before I'd got my notes together and been reading this week and kind of thinking, I had a whole bunch of different things I wanted to talk about this week. But as I was getting into just more the patience pays part of it, I was just taking a shower before I set the camera back up. And while I was in the shower, I was like, I'm going to say this and this. And I was like, I've got all these ideas, all these things I want to talk about. I was like, man, this one's going to be fire. And as soon as I got the camera set up, I was like, where are all those good ideas? Where are all those things you wanted to talk about, Zin? And I've realized that it's just one of those nights where it's just in the flow. You know, we're just in the flow of our being. And what better place to be and what better place to perform patience than in the very flow of our lives? See, impatience would have had me jumping out of the shower, writing down notes, grabbing a recording device, making sure that I had that recorder going, and things I actually normally do when I want to take notes. Impatience would have had me rushing to get the thing set up, and impatience would have had me. But I'm at such a state of peace tonight. I was like, man, I've got this inner peace. Why? I don't even feel like rushing around and doing nothing other than just getting on camera and talking. Although the theme is patience pays. Because what I've realized over time is that we talk a lot about peace. Peace. We want peace. But peace requires patience. And I've noticed that whether it just be going to the store and there ends up being traffic or no parking space over here, or there's a lot of people in the market and I want to get through it, any number of things. It starts raining, somebody's texting you, all these things that when I'm just being patient with how life is coming at me, that's peace right there. We could call this one patience is peace or peace is patience. Because when we have patience in our day-to-day living, the payoff is peace. That's what patience pays, and the payoff for patience is peace. And, there's times that we've got to accelerate. I'm thinking about calling my new album Accelerator, like Liberator, but Accelerator. But, there's times that we want to accelerate the process. We need to get things done quick. But there's still the space of patience involved in doing things without rushing them, but doing them as they come and doing them as needed. I would think, for example, I like to use Michael Jordan's greatness as an athlete to paint that picture of patience and how patience pays. Now, he's out there aggressive. He has to make split-second decisions on the fly. He's got to know if he's going to pass, if he's going to shoot, if he's going to drive in for a layup, going to take the foul. He's got to know all these things. Am I going to move left? Am I going to move right? All of this is happening, but he's patiently waiting for that moment to explode, take the shot. There's a patience there, even though it may seem chaotic. All these professional basketball players coming right at him. That being life, life is coming at us all the time. And we're driving through our cars and like we look over, there's no car there. You start going over, some dude's like, wow, and you're just like, yo, hey, so we've got to pay attention to everything going on around us. But when we're not in a rush, when we're like in the pocket, when we're in the zone, I've realized that with more patience, I get more things done. When I don't rush things, I get more things done. And I used to be a procrastinator, right? Like if one thing, my ministry could be called the art of overcoming procrastination. Why did it take me, 33 years until I started rapping? Why did it take me that long to discover that? Why did it take me so long to get to start making these videos on a weekly basis? Why did it take so long? And that's a form of unconsciousness. Procrastination is a form of unconsciousness. And what does procrastination have to do with patience? Because I think people get those two things confused. People say have patience, but some people don't try. Well, that's procrastination, is patience without even trying. It's not putting in the effort. I've been patient waiting for my career to pop off. Yeah, but how much effort and work have you been putting into your career? I've been patiently waiting for my day to come. Yeah, but how much work and effort have you been putting in your day to come? That may not have been patience. That may have been procrastination. And we procrastinate on a lot of things. I think we all do in life. And we may be thinking that we're just being at peace or at patience, but then we realize like, yo, wait a minute. Let me get out there and swim in the river. Let me jump in the river. Let me get in the cold water. There's something that's just funny. This week I was like, I jumped in the cold shower the other night. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. There's life-changing cold showers. And I've realized that cold showers jumps me out of even my day-to-day procrastination. Like not wanting to go out and mow the lawn, trim the bushes, vacuum the carpet, go to the store, grocery shop, all those little errands and stuff, things that I would usually normally procrastinate. I've just realized, I've got to clean up my desktop so I can, let me clean that up real quick. I've got to, make space on the computer for my next video. Let me do that real quick. I've realized that just by jumping in the shower and being like, all right, let's go, get that cold water. Psh, yeah. Feeling that cold water has caused me now to just want to jump into things quicker. And I'm in more open space too, because this is the place to be, like the Michael Jordan analogy earlier. And we've all been in this space before in our lives. So I ain't saying nothing new, and I ain't saying nothing that nobody who's hearing this has ever not experienced. You've experienced these states of being, right? So we've all experienced this state of being when we're in the zone. And we're being patient, we're waiting as things come to us, but we're actually actively involved in our lives. We've all done it. It's called being in the zone, being in the vortex, being in the kingdom of heaven, being in the inner city, being in the flow, And then we get in that flow and it feels great. And so we all know what we're talking about, but that flow, what's essential to that flow is the patience that pays off to either get into that flow or the patience is taken to get in that flow and remain in that flow. Flow. Minister G. Simone, shout out Minister G. Simone, the acronologist G. Simone. Flow, follow life's outcome willingly. Flow, follow life's outcome willingly. That's patience. It takes patience to follow life's outcome willingly. It takes patience to get over the struggles, the pains, the sufferings that we experience in life. The death of a loved one takes patience. It takes time to heal. And allowing ourselves that patience and that time to heal is the greatest gift. It's the greatest gift we could give ourselves. It's the gift that God's already given us. God's already given us the ability to have patience. God's already given us that time to heal. And then we accept that time to heal and we accept that patience that comes with healing. Well, then that gives our emotions time to feel, it gives us time to actually feel life for what it is. Patience gives us time to feel life. And what is everybody so busy for? Why is everybody running around? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I'm in a fracas. Oh, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I go to Trader Joe's last week, and it's just all these people. I got to get this done. I got to do this. Oh, get in and out. Everybody, frantic. Everybody's frantic. Not everybody, but it was a lot of frantic energy out there. Oh, yeah, this was a couple weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving, right? And I'm like, I didn't even realize it was Thanksgiving. I'm just doing my normal thing, and I'm realizing that there's more people normal when I go shopping at this time of the day, and there's all these people moving around, and I'm just sitting there just navigating around more people than I'm used to, and it didn't bother me. I was in a state of peace. I was patient. I got in and out quickly out of the store, even though there was long lines and a lot of people in there. And, I was like, oh, this is dope, man. Patience is peace. But it also had me thinking, what is the franticness of life? Is everybody in a hurry to get life over with? Because I think that's what it may be if they really search deep down inside. They're not feeling fulfilled in their life. So every moment's a frantic pace to either A, find some kind of meaning and fulfillment, or just get this whole thing done and over with as soon as possible. Because that's what it seems like. People are rushing just to finish their lives, because a lot of people's lives, they decided what they were when they were 12 years old and stuck to it. And that's dope. If you knew your purpose at 12 years old and you've been living it since then, big up. I'm just talking about people who said, I don't know, I'm just going to go, and this job came, and now this came, and now I'm just a cog in the machine, But there's a franticness that's involved in that. They want to get back home because they don't have a lot of time, because all this time is spent at work, and I need to be over here, and I need to do this, and I want to have some kind of fun, and I want to find my purpose. And this is where that frantic energy comes in. And so if we're not living our purpose, we're going to be feeling frantic, because there's going to be an unfulfilled part of us. And I don't even know that everybody has purpose. I know everybody listening to Minister Zin Uru and listening to me, I know you all have a purpose in life, right? Anybody listening to me has a purpose in life. But I can't say that. Why? Because I can't be everybody. It would be nice to think everybody has a purpose, and they're just not living it. But I think some people, they go out in their day-to-day stuff, and maybe they're good. Maybe I'm just, but where's that franticness coming from then? And are you feeling frantic in life? Are you feeling like you just don't have enough time to get done what you want to get done? Because there's a difference, right? I feel like I'll never finish my work here on earth, right? I got so much stuff I want to do while I'm on earth. So many things I want to do while I'm on earth, But I don't feel frantic about it. I used to feel frantic about it, and I got less done. So are you feeling frantic about your purpose? Are you running around like those people in Trader Joe's? Frantic, Or you like Michael Jordan, boom, boom, in the zone. Which one is it, You get to make the choice, too, which one you are, because this is visualization at its finest. This is conscious visualization. This is willpower. This is saying, yeah, I'm Michael Jordan in the zone everywhere I go. Feels like home, And I would implore my nobility out there to always, always, always remember that life is the gift of God. Life itself is the gift of God. Your life is God's gift to you. And how you want to treat that gift, what you want to do with that gift, sure seems to be God's given a whole lot of free will and a whole lot of fun stuff and a whole lot of things to do with the gift you've been given called life. Now, we've all been given this gift called life, and is the point of this gift to be frantic and stressed out and be working for somebody else? For somebody to help somebody else fulfill their dream? Yeah, well, help other people fulfill their dreams, no doubt. But to just give all your time to and kill your own dreams for somebody else's? Kill your own purpose for somebody else's? You know, why else wouldn't people feel frantic out there in the world? Why wouldn't people feel frantic? But don't feel frantic, my nobility. Find peace in this. Find peace in the patience. Patience pays. And what is the payment of patience? Peace. Something pressing inside, revealing its truth. Shout out the acknowledges G. Simone again for spirit. Something pressing inside, revealing its truth. That's you. That's the real you pressing inside. And now there may be some franticness involved with that pressing inside because it wants to express itself. Yet you're making all these decisions unconsciously or even consciously to not allow yourself to express yourself, express your true being in favor of the status quo, in favor of other people, in favor of fear, you know? What's more important than why you are here on earth? What did Prince say on the Rainbow Children album? Did you ever wonder why you had to die? Or did you just think about leaving without ever asking why? Let's get to the core of our living here. And how does patience come into that? Wait, patience is life itself. Edgar Cayce, the third dimensions, what we are calling life here, what we experience as life. I'm talking about this body right here, not what happens after we leave this, not what happened before we were entered this thing. This blood, flesh, and really this water body that we are in. This thing is water. And they call it the water, it's flesh and blood. No, this is a water body. Do you see the difference there? You're just a man of flesh and blood. No, I'm a water body. I'm a star inhabiting a body of water. I'm the living light inhabiting a body of water. And I will not be demeaned by anyone. You see how that is when we start taking our empowerment back? But how does patience relate to life in that way? 3 dimensions. Edgar Cayce said, you know, like I said, life, this what we experience is water body, this star in the jar, the star in this water body, this light in this water body, this consciousness in this water body. This is what we experience and what we call life. And there's all these other meanings to life that's just been lost in time. But this thing that we call life, this 3 dimensions, I really have always appreciated what Edgar Cayce brought into this discussion in one of his readings. He said that the 3 dimensions are time or space, time, and patience. Space, the first dimension, time, the second dimension, and patience, the third dimension. I was like, man, that's heavy, that's deep, that's deep. But everything in this water body requires patience. You fall out of shape, you want to get back in shape. Patience for the transformation to take place. You get injured, you want to heal right. Patience for the injury to heal. To make a change in life, to move from one's job to one's work and one's purpose, patience. To learn more about God by sitting in meditation, affirmation, and prayer, patience. To get from point A in a car to point B, you're traveling through space. It takes a certain amount of time, and when you get there, the best way to get there, patience. I think a lot of people without patience are only living in time and space. They're only living in the 2 dimension. They're living a 2-dimensional reality in a 3-dimensional world. Let alone a multi-dimensional reality in a multi-dimensional world. But let's just think about these 3 time, space, and patience. I was called, before I even read that from Edgar Cayce, I've been calling patience the governor. Because I realized that same lesson now from Edgar Cayce, seeing it, that the governor of patience and the performance of patience and the divine performance of patience, it's like inevitable that it's just going to be used on a day-to-day basis. It's constant. You want to master your craft? Patience. You want to make your album? Patience. You want to write your book? Patience. We could throw perseverance in there. That's part of perseverance. Patience. Willpower requires patience. Love requires patience. Freedom requires patience. Patience requires truth. That's how they're linked together. Patience requires truth because you've got to know the truth. And then from patience to truth, the bridge would be faith. You see the truth, the patience to arrive at the truth, the patience to just live the truth, to know the truth, to be the truth. That takes faith. Don't be fooled by what the world's trying to tell everybody right now. I mean, look at the mess the government is. What an absolute mess. If anybody trusts the government's ability, the federal government specifically, after COVID, you're a bigger fool than they thought you were. I mean, it's wild. It's like they're applying fast food logic to governance. We want it fixed now. We want it fixed fast. I want it now. I want it now. I want it fast. I want it now. This like fast food logic that people are going through. I want it now. Give me it now. Now. I want answers now. I want this now. I want it all now. Give me. And the government's like, give us your support now. Give us your freedoms now. Isn't that crazy to think about that people give up their freedoms to the government? Who has the power? They got to convince you to give up your freedom. Who has the power? Who has the freedom? Wouldn't that mean that if we have to be convinced by some outside body to give up our freedom, wouldn't that mean that freedom is our inherent, innate birthright, not theirs? Why would they need what we have if they already had it? If they already had freedom, why would they need our freedom? They don't have it, so something else is going on with them that's not going on with us, the true children of God. Let's not play around with that. Play around with our sovereignty, play around with our freedom, play around with truth itself. And while their ways are, we want it now, instant gratification, instant click on this, click on that, download this, download that. Computer this, computer that, fast food this, fast food that. While they're living in that illusion, step outside of that into the truth. Step outside of that into the realm of patience. Because patience pays, and what does it pay? Patience payment is peace. When you have patience with the process, look at the world, peace. A lot of people are waking up to more of what's going on with the agenda. And I mean, it's like 2 years into it, and they're just starting now to see what some of us saw 2 years ago, what it was. And they're going to be impatient. People are feeling, I've seen some things this week. And the way people are, like celebrities are feeling it in their soul that something's wrong. And if you feel something's wrong, that means you're attached to the wrong system. You're attached to the wrong God. Little G-O-D. That's where that impatience comes in. That's where that frustration and all that other stuff comes in. Now, I'm not saying that I look at the world and don't know, something shifted, right? But I also know that in that shift is God. And God is allowing everything to happen exactly how it's supposed to be happening right now. We're not here to judge that. We're here to perform patience and navigate our way successfully through what life is sending at us. We're in a school. And in this school, this classroom of life itself, God is teaching us each a valuable lesson as individuals and as a collective. And only patience will have the sight to see and know and really be and live in that flow of what that is. I'm going to read this real quick and put it up on the screen. Patient and patience. You can see here real quick, patience is just the capacity, quality, or fact of being patient. Chiefly British, the great game solitaire. I guess that's a British game called Patience, maybe. Patience, the capacity, quality, or fact of being patient. Now, look at these. I don't always do the synonyms, but look at the synonyms. Patience, long-suffering, resignation, forbearance. These nouns all denote the capacity to endure hardship, difficulty, or inconvenience without complaint. Patience emphasizes calmness. See, the first part, I was going to say this about these definitions, you'll notice, they bring all this suffering and resignation and inconvenience and complaints into patience first. But really, they'll show you with the next definitions what patience actually is. Patience emphasizes calmness, self-control, and the willingness or ability to tolerate delay. Okay? So see how this does this when we look at the actual word patient here. Bearing or enduring pain, difficulty, provocation, or annoyance with calmness. Like, that's a part of being patient, right? Bearing or enduring pain, difficulty, provocation, or annoyance with calmness, yeah. Number two, and this is what I'm saying, it's just, they're bringing pain and suffering into patience first. Don't start patience with pain and suffering, okay? That's the point here. Patience helps and will be there for you if you are suffering or if you're going through difficulty. That's what it's for. But patience it's not just primarily in the, being calm and enduring pain. Marked by or exhibiting calm endurance of pain, difficulty, provocation, or annoyance. Number three, tolerant understanding. Persevering, constant. Number four, this is where we're going to get more into how I see the definitions of our day-to-day life playing out. Yes, we need patience, but I think they should put like definitions 1, 2, 3, and 4 as number 4, 5, and 6, and take 5, 4, and 6 and put those as definitions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because this is what actually comes first. And this is how you endure the pain. Persevering, constant. You're just being constant with who you are on your day-to-day living. Persevering through life. Persevering towards one's purpose. Persevering towards one's gifts and expression. Definition number 5, capable of calmly awaiting an outcome or result, not hasty or impulsive. Boom, bing, 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 bing. Definition number 1 should be capable of calmly awaiting an outcome or a result, not hasty or impulsive. Because that one definition there, that can also mean bearing or enduring pain. But bearing or enduring pain doesn't mean capable of calmly awaiting an outcome or a result, not hasty or impulsive. And see, then they go right back to it, number 6, capable of bearing or enduring pain, difficulty, provocation. See how they do that? Just really number 4 and 5, persevering, constant, capable of calmly awaiting an outcome or a result, not hasty or impulsive. That's real patience right there. I've noticed this, just like how much of the English language, especially from this is the American Heritage Dictionary, Volume 3, how much of it is negatively, like the definitions are a negative charge. Most of the first definitions have a negative charge to them, a negative connotation, some kind of a suffering involved. Like literally, like this one is like right off the bat, difficulty, enduring pain, annoyance. That's all salt. But when you get to what it really is, capable of calmly awaiting an outcome or a result, not hasty or impulsive, that's where we start with patience. And this is why people are afraid of being patient, because they go by the different dictionary's definition of it, and these dictionaries are designed to keep people in a state of bouncing from here to there and not knowing why they're going. Everything but being hip to their hop, being frantic. When you're frantic, there's no way you're hip hop. That's really what being hip hop is. When we say being in the zone, being in the kingdom of heaven, in our center, all that, that's being hip hop, being hip to our hop. Being frantic, you are not hip to your hop. And I thought this was interesting too, because they both come from the same root word, but like when you're a patient at a doctor's office, that's the same root word as the word patient, for patience. One who receives medical attention, care, or treatment. Yeah, you're a patient at a doctor's office. One who suffers is the archaic meaning. See, so suffering is the archaic meaning of patience. So it's in the archaic meaning of patience. But English, patient, from Old French, from Latin, patience, to endure. That's it. The original meaning of the word patience is to endure. To be patient is to endure. Patience is endurance. Simple and plain. Just enduring through a hardship or even a great time. Whatever it is that we're going through in life, we remain patient. We just perform patience in our life, in our day-to-day living. What a wonderful way to be. And speaking of perform patience, this isn't going to be a really long lesson tonight either, by the way. I didn't set out for this one to be super long, and it's not going to be super long. I just wanted this, and we've done message from the ministers before on patience, and message from the ministers, something I've realized is every week for a while I've been trying to come up with something new and something exciting every week, and something I haven't done before. But I think this is number 44, which, completion. It's a elevated number 44. Wow. What's important about number 44 here is that I want to set this up so we revisit certain themes every few months. Every few months revisiting patience. Every few months revisiting discipline. Every few months checking in with, our certain attributes. Because that's the life that we're living. It's the fundamentals of this game of life and how to play it. It's the fundamentals that keep us going. It's the fundamentals that we tune into. And one of those fundamentals, patience. Divine performance, number 6. This is the third overstanding in the Gospel of Hip Hop, written by the teacher, KRS-One. And this is divine performance number 6. Perform patience. Practice expressing calm endurance, silent strength, and inner resolve. These lead to patience. Be tolerant of others and their views, and always be willing to wait. Whatever is yours by divine right. Within the spiritual life, there is very little need to rush or to be anxious. Simply ask and then wait in an expectant manner. Usually, what you do not receive is for your own good. Here, patience is the ability
to be still and allow opportunity to fall into your lap. Do not run after opportunity, only position yourself to receive opportunities. Usually, it is the righteous that remain still through the changes of the world in a strategic position, so that when the world unexpectedly changes, again, opportunity falls into their lap. That is the key right there, my nobility. Be patient, be still, and allow the opportunity to fall into your lap. Usually, I'm going to read this again too, because it's important just to get this whole part of this and what it means to allow opportunity, because it's not talking about just being passive and doing nothing. This is a performance. Performance in and of itself is an action. Performance in and of itself, hear that. Every performance is an action. Even though we have a perform action, every one of these performances, there is an action to be taken. In fact, I believe it's in Spanish that the word perform and action is the same word. Usually what you do not receive is for your own good. That is an affirmation. If you don't have what you think you should have, just realize it's for your own good. Have patience in the ability to be still and allow opportunity to fall into your lap. Do not run after opportunity, only position yourself to receive opportunities. It is the righteous that remains still throughout the changes of the world in a strategic position, so that when the world unexpectedly changes again, opportunity falls into their laps. Remember that opportunity is not to be chased down. It is to be searched for. See, here's the action right here. You don't chase it down, you search for it. Here's the action right here. Opportunity is not to be hunted, it is granted. It is not taken, it is received. Hippopas are encouraged to find strength in the things that they already have. Be patient, even with ignorant, selfish people. Be patient with them as well as with yourself, and prepare for the fall of the ignorant. It is inevitable. Right, CNN? In the United States, CNN has fallen apart at the seams. Every one of them, like they're just falling apart. It was inevitable. They were so ignorant, like their fall is inevitable. Ignorant will always fall. It is inevitable. Now check this out though. Here's the instruction. Sometimes the fall of the ignorant will temporarily hinder the rise of the hippapa. In this case, the attuned hippapa has already prepared for the inevitable fall of the ignorant through independence and a variety of divine performances, and raises while others are trapped under their own rubble. In all things, see that? In all things, perform patience. Even with difficult people, be patient. No matter how ignorant or inconsiderate people may appear to be, always remember that ultimately everyone is growing, learning, and developing according to their own level of consciousness. And if they are not, then they will not be around you much longer. Be patient. Some people will simply not see it your way. Be patient. You and they are always growing. Eventually, everyone sees the truth. However, everyone grows at their own pace. What is obvious to you today may not be so obvious to others. But if you stand in truth and in righteous humility, they shall eventually see what you see. Be patient. Everyone arrives at the truth eventually. Finally, we must continue the practice of being patient with ourselves. And nobility, this is the lesson this week. And I have a nice little reading from U.S. Anderson when we do our closing. But this is the message this week, my nobility. This is for you. This is for you. We must continue the practice of being patient with ourselves. Let us remain committed to our principles, performances, and disciplines. But let us not be too anxious to receive spiritual insight and power. All shall come in time. For we have seen for over 40 years that it does not matter how much meditation one does or how virtuous one may live. Spiritual insight and power happen on their own, in their own time. You simply must continue your practice until you are granted the results that you desire. Be patient and learn the art of waiting. The spiritual life is not the material life. It moves within its own time. When you are being delayed for some trivial reason, do not get upset or worried. Simply go with the flow. Go with the flow because your very steps are counted and guided by spiritual forces. Be patient. Be willing to wait. Practice performing patience while waiting in line. Practice patience with difficult people. Practice patience with your own spiritual development, with your career, with your children, with your parents. In all areas of life, learn how to apply the virtuous performance of patience. Many disasters have been avoided, and many have come to see the light by the correct use of patience. As the philosopher Carlyle once said, every noble work is at first impossible. Perform patience. My nobility, perform patience in all things. It's the governor, it's the constant. You're a star in a jar. You're a star. You're the light inhabiting a water body. You are the living light inhabiting living water. The water is alive. Your light is alive. You are the living waters of life. You are the living light of life itself. And in this 3 dimensions, time, space, and patience, patience pays, my nobility. Patience pays with peace. Knowing that your day will arrive. Knowing that your time will arrive. Knowing that when you're out and about and you seem delayed, that it's for your own growth. It's for your own evolution. When somebody's acting a fool in your life and they're trying to tear you down and it's a loved one, somebody you love the most is hurting you more than you've ever been hurt before. Perform patience, my nobility. You are evolving. This is for the evolution of your soul, for the evolution of our souls. While our souls are evolving, let me tell you, pain, suffering, all that stuff, the way the lubrication for it, patience. The oil for the engine, patience. That's how we smoothly go through life, with patience. When we're impatient, we act reckless, we destroy, we act out of anger, we don't have our self-discipline. Patience is a form of discipline, my nobility. But like I said earlier, it's not like you just sitting there not doing nothing, procrastinating. No. Michael Jordan, watch him as the epitome of patience on the basketball court. Even when he's getting what looks like impatient with his teammates, he's still being patient with his teammates. Why is he being patient? Wait, he's angry. No, he's stopping to take his force, his energetic force and willpower, and put it into his teammate. Boom, boom, boom. So while may it look like he's being impatient, know what patience is. It's not what TV or your school taught you. It's something deeper. Patience can be performed in the middle of the battle. That's the best place for it. So when you're patient and you know your shot's coming, Michael knew that shot was coming. He just knew it. He knew it was coming. You know what's coming. God's preparing us ahead of time for what's coming. If you don't listen, that's on you. If you don't want to listen to what God's saying to you, there ain't no amount of meditation. There ain't nothing that's going to help anyone who don't listen to God. And that part where it say, sooner or later everybody's going to arrive at the truth. Well, you want to arrive at the truth with a gentle nudge from God? Or you want to arrive at the truth when the truth smacks you in the face because you've been ignoring it? What's the saying? People can ignore the consequences of their actions, but they can't ignore the consequences of ignoring the consequences of their actions. There's no ignoring the consequences of somebody's actions. And if your actions have been impatience, and if our actions have been, frustrated, and if our actions have been all these other things, well, that's okay. That's part of the patient process too. To outgrow that. We got to outgrow our immaturity. Flitting about here and there. Being other people's little, toy soldiers, being other people's little, men on the strings, little puppets. Rise up out of that into our patience, into our field, into our knowing, into our being, into our purpose, into our divinity, into our sovereignty, into our life. That was what life is for. It is the essence of life, is our sovereignty and our reason for being here. You were born for a reason. Why were you born? And there is an answer. And it's always growing. The answer is always revealing itself, but it's a simple answer. Why were you born? It's a simple answer. You know why, but you got to ask yourself, why was I born? Why was I born, God? And then patiently wait. And what will the payoff be? The peace that comes with the answer of knowing why we are born. And put this up here. I'll show you this. 3 Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. I want to close with this week. And this doesn't even talk about patience. I was looking for a piece. I remember him talking about patience, and I didn't find it. But my eyes just kept coming to this right here. I put up on the screen here, where it says, open your heart. And that's all I want to read. And then talk about this for a minute and then close. It's not a long message from the Minista tonight. Because we know what patience is. It's a reminder of what patience is. And this may be a little expansion on our consciousness of how we perceive patience. But when we open our heart, my nobility, to open your heart, opening the heart takes patience. A warm heart takes patience, but it happens. It seems so difficult for us to open our hearts to love. We are so mindful of our petty little hurts and rejections, so super sensitive to the opinions and circumstances about us, so steeped in our own self-centeredness, so pulled in our own little problems and victories and failures. We isolate ourselves from the great unity. Like hermits, we retire into our caves. Like hurt animals, we lie in lonely retreat and lick our fancied wounds. And always we build our walls. Walls to protect us from further hurt. Far from protecting us, our walls visited upon us the greatest hurt of all, for by them we slowly kill ourselves, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. Open your heart. Allow love to enter. What matters a hurt when it is but a step towards fulfillment? Life is for living. And some experience of pain and sorrow is essential even to distinguish pleasure and joy. Wrote Walter Calmer Smith, there is no gain except by loss. There is no life except by death. There is no vision but by faith. Love heals the body, comforts the lonely hour, illuminates the darkest path, redeems from sin and evil, brings prosperity, overcomes fear, builds character, and reveals the meaning of life. Open our hearts to love, my nobility. That's what they're trying to take away from us. They want to take our warm hearts and make us cold-hearted. They want to take our patience away from us. They want to take our peace away from us and live in their fast food, destructive reality. I'm telling you, my nobility, they are idiots. They are fools.
They are liars, they are cheats, and they are thieves. And we are the ones participating in their lie, whether consciously or unconsciously. We can't act like that. We can't keep doing that and expect a different result. The impatience brings impatient results, and they don't last. Being the builder who builds their house upon the rock. Takes longer to build a house on a solid foundation, but once the house is built on a solid foundation, it stands the tests of time. Being patient is a gradual process, my nobility. As a hip-hopper, tuning into one's hip-hop reality, becoming hip-hop itself, saying I am hip-hop, mastering one's elements, mastering the principles of the hip-hop Declaration of Peace, the hip-hop, the gospel of hip-hop. It takes time to become a hip-hopper. You give yourself a new name. You come into this reality. You come in, you're like, yo, I'm MC Zin Uru, and I got something to say. It took patience. It still takes patience. Patience is going to be there from now until the time you leave, and therefore after. We have to master patience in this school that we're in the class that we're in. We have to master patience in this life. Why do we have to master patience in this life? Why? Because patience, we take this lesson with us. We need our patience for the next step. When we leave this body, we have to have patience mastered. You cannot leave this school. You will recycle again and again and again and again and again until you understand patience and truly become the patience itself. We got to be patient about things, my nobility. And that is how we open our heart, patiently open up the heart. Keep the heart. We can open up our heart and still be wise. We don't give our love to people who are going to destroy and hurt us because why? We've experienced the love. We've learned the lessons from the pain and the suffering. So we've gotten to a better place because we've learned the pain and the suffering. So we get to a new understanding and a deeper knowing of love. This pain and suffering, when I have my children taken out of my life, they're a few years apart, but a solid 12 years where there's just 3 of them. 10 years solid, where it's just 3 kids that I see every day, and they're the love of my life. I love these kids more than just so much love for these children. And they have them in my day-to-day life, and hugging them and playing with them and teaching them and hanging out with them and getting irritated by them and all the things that come along with being dad, right? To go from that day in and day out for 10 solid years to just having it taken away. Not in the same house no more, then not in the same city no more, and then not even, oh man. There was so much suffering and pain I went through there. And it was only through that pain and suffering of learning loss like that I learned that, I'm so thankful I got to experience those 10 years like that. Do I wish it was more? Yeah, but it wasn't my choice. This is life itself. Life needed me to learn a lesson, a depth of a lesson that I could have only learned in this way. And that's the pain and the suffering that any of us are going through. It's a life lesson. Learn the lesson. And I was so frantic in the beginning. I was trying to bring it all back. When life was moving out my life, it was moving so, it was like trying to grab water and hold water in my hands for a long period of time, or like sand in a fist. It just pours right out. But I was gripping it, and I was just like, and I was trying everything and just losing my mind and losing my way and losing my patience. But then I found that out, I was like, this is deep. This is deep right here. God has a lesson for me, and it's inevitable. I have to learn this lesson. I have to accept it because there's nothing I can do about it other than embrace it for what it is and grow from it and evolve from the lesson. And it happened. But it took time, it took patience, but the patience paid off with peace. I was patient with the process. I was patient with the healing. And it paid off in peace. And my heart is open, but I also understand that to open my heart, I open my heart to the wrong people. I'm going to open my heart to the right people. And really, an open heart isn't even about opening your heart to other people. Let's put that in its place for a moment and really look at what does it mean to open one's heart to love. Well, it means we love God. We open our heart to God.
again. A lot of us have closed the hearts to God. If your heart's closed to God, open it up to God. Not the God that you were trained, or not the God that has been conditioned these last 1,000 years, this, whatever the false gods that have been, but the real, true, heavenly creator of all that is, the love of all that is, the truth, the freedom. Opening our heart to the greatness and getting to know our divine parent again. Because that's why they want us to close our hearts, because they don't want us to be in tune with God. They want us to cut ourselves off from our source, from life itself. We don't got to do it, my nobility. Why were you born? That's the meaning of life. Open up our heart to love. Patience pays, my nobility. It's peace. And when we're at peace, we see more love. We experience more love when we're at peace. And if you're going through a hurt right now, or you're going through some suffering, be patient with yourself. Be patient with the growth. Be patient with the process. If you got feelings to feel those feelings. If you've lost somebody important to you, feel the loss. Don't put no time frame on it. Don't put everybody else's ideas on it. The universe has a way of teaching us and knowing. And we're going to learn the lesson, and if we're patient with the lesson, we just learn that much more of the lesson. Like I said in the beginning, I've realized that by the performance of patience, I get more done. Rushing doesn't help anything. Rushing to finish something doesn't help anything. It's better to do it with patience and be a little bit late than to rush and be on time or early. And really, patience is about being right on time exactly when you need to be on time. There it is, my nobility. I know it's going to be Christmas next week. I'm going to do a message from the Minista next week. I think it might be on Christmas, but I don't know. We'll see. But peace and so much love to you. We're heading into a new year, and I don't even know if I can articulate what I've learned about with the Christmas tree, the star. I can articulate it. The pole star, the center of the earth, the way the sun moves around the Polaris star and back around. It's a great time to start things new. It really is. And as we head into the new year, bringing that momentum, be patient with 2021 and be patient going into 2022, my nobility. Patience pays, and it pays with peace. And there it is. Hell!